From WNYC, this is NYC Now. I'm Janae Pierre. The hottest dance party in Brooklyn. Is the buttface still a thing in the city? And New Yorkers fight back against fake AI ads on the subway. That's some of what we'll be discussing on our bi-weekly check-in with WNYC's Arts and Culture Desk. But first, here are some of the headlines we're following. Luigi Mangione pleaded guilty Friday to federal charges stemming from the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The 28-year-old Ivy League grad faced charges in both state and federal court related to Thompson's killing. Federal prosecutors accused him of stalking Thompson to New York City and shooting him outside a Midtown Manhattan hotel in the early morning hours of December 4th, 2024. In court, Mangione admitted that he planned the attack on Thompson, and now he faces up to life in prison. Ben Feuerherdt covers public safety and policing for WNYC and Gothamist. He joins us now to explain the plea and what comes next. Ben, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Before we jump into all of this, can you first walk us through what happened in court Friday?
Yeah, so Mangione pleaded guilty to the 2 counts, as you said, that he faced in federal court for the killing of Brian Thompson. And in a lot of ways, it was this pretty standard plea hearing where a judge asked him a number of questions prior to him pleading guilty about his frame of mind. And the judge asked things like, have you taken any drugs in the past few days? Is your mind clear today? And that's just to ensure that Mangione was pleading guilty willfully and he understood what he was doing. And probably the most interesting part of the hearing was when he described his actions the day of the killing on December 4th, which is also standard at plea hearings like this. And he started by saying that he struggled for years with severe pain from a broken back and had difficulty navigating the U.S. healthcare system. So he said in 2024, he decided to research the annual investors conference held by United Healthcare. And he said he ended up traveling to New York, emailing United Healthcare, posing as an investor to figure out where the conference was actually being held. And the company ends up getting back to him and he figures out where the conference is. He goes there the day of the conference and assassinates Thompson. And he said prior to traveling to New York, he printed out a 3D gun, put a silencer on it. He said he went to New York with the intention of killing Thompson. And at one point in his remarks, he just straight up told the judge that he shot Thompson and killed him.
I read on Gothamist, your piece that you worked on with our colleagues Samantha Max and Walter Woodman, that Luigi Mangione said, quote, I shot Mr. Thompson in Manhattan and he died. And Ben, I know that Mangione had previously pleaded not guilty. Why change his plea now?
Yeah, our colleague Samantha Max, as you mentioned, had a good story about this today. And she spoke to a few attorneys and legal experts, some who basically said he's trying to cut his losses here. One made the point that when you strip away all the publicity around this case, the dialogue that it sparked about the U.S. healthcare system, it's basically a straightforward murder case with absolutely no legal justification. So Mangione may be trying to make a sort of last-ditch effort to not spend the rest of his life in prison. The judge will decide his sentence. But in general, judges like it when defendants who are guilty accept responsibility for what they did and own up to it, even though it's their right to go to trial. So if someone pleads guilty, it's not unusual for defense attorneys to highlight that when they submit what's called a sentencing submission and argue for a more lenient sentence for their client. Mm-hmm. And the other piece of this is his attorneys are trying to get the charges that he faces brought by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office dismissed.
Yeah, Ben, let's talk more about this because Mangione still faces murder and weapons charges in state court. What does this plea mean for that case and what happens next?
Yeah, so Mangione's attorneys have already filed a motion in the state case to dismiss the remaining murder and weapons charges there. And they argue it should be dismissed for a number of reasons, including what they view as a violation of New York State's double jeopardy law. And basically what they say is that the U.S. Constitution allows for prosecutions at both the state and federal level, but New York State's double jeopardy law goes further than that. They say it gets triggered when there's a resolution to a case through a guilty plea or a trial that bars prosecutors from bringing another case for the same crime. So interesting, legal theories at play there.
Yeah.
But the Manhattan DA's office responded to the filing with a statement basically saying it's not as cut and dry as that. The statement says they're prepared to litigate the defense motion. So there's definitely going to be more on that front.
Yeah, definitely gonna keep my ears to the ground to see what happens there. I'm sure you didn't expect this as you woke up on a Friday morning, right, Ben?
Yeah, eventful news day for sure.
Definitely. Ben Fewerhurry covers public safety and policing for WNYC and Gothamist. Ben, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
In other New York City news, some state lawmakers are pushing a bill that would require insurance coverage for egg freezing. The procedure is getting more attention because of online posts from Congressmember Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She says she's spending thousands of dollars to freeze her eggs. State Senator Michelle Hinchy hopes that attention will help build momentum for the bill. She says coverage for egg freezing is still spotty.
More and more people are using it, but the people who have access to it are folks who either have disposable income or who happen to work for a company that has Cadillac benefits.
The bill has passed the state Senate twice, but has stalled in the Assembly. The State Health Plan Association says the mandate could increase insurance costs. If you want to learn more about these stories, you can find links to our full coverage on our news site Gothamist in the show notes. It's time now for our bi-weekly arts and culture check-in, a look at what's coming across our arts and culture desk here at WNYC. Joining me is editor of that desk, Matthew Schnipper. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Janae, how's it going?
Pretty good. Missing you here in the studio, but I know your parents miss you a lot more.
I am set up in my my parents' basement. Yeah. The WNYC home away from home.
Yeah, well, I hope it's been nice for you.
It's nice. It's been a good day out of the office. Glad to be working on my daughter's nap time.
Yeah, we are approaching another New York City summer weekend. Can I take it back to this past weekend, though? Because it was bananas. The city put on its first Jamaica Day parade. And have you seen the videos?
Oh, man. Yes. Did you see the video of the white lady in Flatbush getting arrested?
Man, that was crazy. But yeah, the Jamaica Day parade was insane. Plus, I know your desk covered Brooklyn's favorite dance party. That's Public Service. Can you talk a bit about that?
Public service. Yeah. It's funny. A few people this summer have come to me and been like, we got to talk about public service. Look, this is an idealistic Eden-like dance party. It happens. There are two vinyl-only DJs. They play in parks across Brooklyn, and it's a free party. They do raise funds via GoFundMe, but you can show up and attend. These are authorized, real, legal parties. Mm-hmm. And they had one this past weekend, and it was at Stuyvesant Playground. If you've ever come off the BQE by the Kent exit, it's in this kind of no man's land space between kind of Navy Yard and Williamsburg. But anyway, this party is like everybody from all walks of life coming and listening to salsa, disco, R&B, older songs, newer songs, but all on vinyl. And it is not a music snob party. Mm-hmm. It is not a party that targets one demographic or another. We did this story, and what was really interesting was the quotes really said, everyone is here. We got gentrifiers. We got the people getting gentrified upon. We've got everybody who lives in Brooklyn coming together. And it seemed like a party that is happening without any sort of tension. Obviously, you would hope a party is the place where that would happen. But right. It does seem like this is a really blissful event. It's not like it's meant to be like, we're going to play the most cutting edge, funkiest, weirdest music, and it's going to be this thing, and it's only for the heads. It's this is for everybody kind of party.
Yeah, and I mean, that was certainly illustrated in the Gothamist story that I read about this one. It's really all people of all ages, of all backgrounds. It's really New York City.
And I think that to me is a really cool thing to see.
Yeah.
Because I do think about events that you go to and you go, oh, well, this is for this demographic and this is for this demographic and this. And you can kind of go around and see like who fits in over here. And, and maybe you can even fit in a couple of different places. Mm-hmm. But it's not often, I feel like, that you're out in New York and you go, okay, everybody is here. Everybody of socioeconomic levels, like, age, race, class. Like, it reminds me kind of like a more official version of St. James Joy, which is a block party that happens on St. James Place. Mm-hmm. Even that is like, that's a house music party too. This is an everybody party.
There's another public service party coming up, right?
Yes, there is one last chance to join this utopian party, September 13th at Maria Hernandez Park in Bushwick.
And Matt, can you talk about these two DJs behind this one?
Yeah, there's two guys named Mickey Perez and Cesar Toribio. They met when one was working at a club, the other was DJing there, and they said, hey, this is the kind of spirit that we want to bring. A very welcoming place, a very communal kind of place. And I think they set up a couple of not sanctioned outdoor parties and then said, well, what if we made it official? And so they got the licenses, they brought in flowers. At the end of each event, they do a group photo of all the dancers and themselves. I think there are two like-minded gentlemen who said, like, how do we make people in New York feel like they love the city?
Yeah.
And, they have a party that does that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to catching the next one at Maria Hernandez Park in Bushwick.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I think it's the last one of the season because it will be, it'll start being cold.
Are there any other summer exclusive events that we should check out before the season ends?
There are two more warm-ups at PS1. And I was talking about that party at some point in the last couple of weeks, I think, on the show. And on August 21st and August 28th at PS1 in Long Island City, Queens. If you've not been to PS1, to the museum, they have an enormous courtyard. And for years, they've been doing a party where they just have DJs and musicians play at the top of these steps. And then people dance out in front of the steps. So there's the 21st and the 28th are both good lineups. I would go on the 21st if you could. Doppler Effect is playing. And there's a group called PureLink who I think somewhat jokingly but lovingly has referred to themselves as an ambient music boy band. So if there's one more outside thing that you're going to do this summer, that might be a good candidate.
Yeah, I mean, we're also coming up to the end of some of the last outdoor movie nights. Of course, that 8 p.m. sunset, it's gone until next year at least.
Yes, it's kind of sad.
Yeah. But also, speaking of things that we should check out, we'll get another chance to check out the Queens Night Market as well. So summer's coming to an end in a few weeks. A lot to knock out before it does. So please do that.
I was thinking about this, about stuff that you might want to do. And I think, yes, go to Queens Night Market. You should do that. There are many ferries you can go on. Awesome. Do that. But I was thinking, things change so much when it gets cold. You don't want to be in your house all the time.
Yeah.
So you do a bunch of stuff in the winter. You get bundled up. I was thinking, honestly, I was like, what do I feel like doing? I was like, I want to go to Fort Greene Park and sit on a bench and read a book. There's going to be plenty of weird, random events. We're going to have a whole guide to the fall coming up soon on Gothamist and on WNYC from our desk in a couple weeks after Labor Day. But if I really could urge you to do anything, read a book outside. Put your phone down, go outside, read a book. That is my recommendation. Go to a park and read. Pick a book, any book. I can recommend you a book. mschnipper@wnyc.org. Send me an email. Tell me what you want to read. I'll recommend you a book. Any book. Just read one.
We're going to take a break here, but when we return, WNYC's arts and culture editor Matthew Schnipper shares whether or not New York City is a buffet town. Stay close. We're back with our bi-weekly arts and culture check-in with WNYC's Matthew Schnipper. I want to move on now to another story that was put out by the desk recently, asking whether or not New York City is a buffet town. And I certainly hope not. Can you explain this story, please?
So James Ramsey, who does the Looped In newsletter, which is fantastic. You can get it on email. You can also check him out on TikTok and Instagram. It was like, buffets? Is that a thing? And he brought his daughter to figure out if it is, in fact, a thing. Can you go to a buffet in New York? The answer is yes, you can.
I hate that.
But you're at your own risk, I think is what he found. Yeah. Personally, post-COVID, I have not really had a desire to eat at a open-air market.
Okay. Do you remember the last buffet you were at?
Yes, I do. When I started at this job about a year ago, people told me the only place they go eat is Essen, which is downstairs from our office. And Essen is a big, expensive buffet. And I walked in there and I was like, I guess I'll have some chicken. You know, and when you first start a job, you don't know what's going on. You're like, everybody says this is where they go to lunch. And then I was like, I'm not going here.
You didn't ask me.
No, this was before I was recruited. See, you would have told me where to get a tuna melt and be happy.
Yep.
And I did learn that on Downing Street at Daily Provisions. I get a tuna melt once a week now. But yeah, that was the last time I went to a buffet, was early on last fall. And I have some colleagues, they swear by the buffet. They're like, Essen, they go there. Do you get the buffet?
I'm not really into buffets, although I did have a favorite as a child. And do you want to hear this? Because you may have never seen this, but
I would love to know. Tell me.
Pizza Hut used to have a buffet. Do you remember this?
Is it all you can eat pizza?
It's all you can eat pizza. It's like a salad bar. It was with the Pizza Hut that's connected to a KFC. The KFC side also had a buffet as well. Throwback.
Could you pay one price to have the buffet from both restaurants?
I'm not sure. I was a child. Times were great.
Okay.
I was not paying.
You weren't paying either
Yeah.
way. I wonder if that's, the combination Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, KFC. Like, imagine if you had a buffet that was all of those, and it was one price.
Yeah.
I feel like the Indian buffet, I feel like I used to eat that for lunch at a former job, and that was pretty good with that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great place in Murray Hill, actually. That was good. But it's just hard to imagine, I'm pretty gross. Like, I'll eat kind of whatever. And if you told me you brought me some food and you were like, it's from a buffet, I probably would eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you told me, let's go to a buffet, I would be like, do we have to? I feel like that's kind of, I sit in there. It's like, I'm not against it, but I don't necessarily want it.
Yeah, I'm against it. Unless I have one exception in 2026.
Which is?
Casino buffet, all you can eat snow crabs.
Oh my God.
If it's all you can eat crab legs, I'm in. Okay?
Is the snow crab like the really, really big crab?
It's the one under the Dungeness crab. So it's not a Dungeness crab, but it's like, it's the one under that.
That's like how you're going to be like, they're going to be like, Matthew found dead under the Dungeness crab. Like, it's just a tiny. I do want to know, there were two buffets that seemed promising. And one, it was the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. That is a breakfast buffet that is opened to non-guests, which is fascinating to me. You imagine being like, you know what I need to do? I need to go to a hotel buffet in Times Square. Be like, you live in Astoria. Be like, yeah, I do.
I'm going to pass up all of the great restaurants in Astoria to go to breakfast in Times Square.
I'm headed over to that Marriott Marquis buffet. I need to make my own waffle this morning. Hell, I need to make three to four waffles. And I'm going to finish maybe one. James already came back. He came back. He also said that Dhaba Indian Cuisine, which is on Lexington in the city in Manhattan, he said that's got a really popular all-you-can-eat buffet. So
yeah, it seemed like he went to both those places in the same day.
Yeah, he went to both those places the same day, and he also made his daughter go with him, which I think is a sign of, her love for her dad.
For
it's a real commitment, It's a good dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Good dad. So, Matt, New Yorkers seem to be coming together on an issue, and you all on your desk, you have explored that in a story that's highlighting how AI ads are bringing people together at subway stations. How did this one come about?
Well, maybe about a year ago, there were all those ads for Friend, which is this sort of white orb that you wear around your neck, and it's supposed to be your best friend, and it's always there with you, and it talks with you. And people were defacing those like crazy, like, go talk to a human being. But I would say those kinds of ads have not gone away at all in the last year, and they have proliferated, and they've gotten more kind of absurd. Where it's like, desk, the thing that's always there to support you, but sometimes it's like, I was going to say some like fake crypto slang words, but I don't even know what they are. But some guys who do took it upon themselves to make a whole bunch of ridiculous fake AI ads and put them up in the subway. And they filmed themselves. They printed those on vinyl banners, and this kind of went viral on social media. They took the ads down pretty quickly. I think they didn't want to get in trouble. But they did have an official kind of show for these ads at the West 4th Street subway stop. And a ton of people showed up. And I think it's funny you said like the New Yorkers are coming together. And in my mind, it's like, when do New Yorkers come together? It's like, well, the Knicks and when they can be haters.
Exactly.
And I think that this is, we did the Knicks already. We're waiting for them to come back.
Yeah.
And it's like, now you can be a hater. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants your data center. People in New York, like friends or not, we can talk to other people, so we're not stressed about that. And so they had these ads. They made the ads. The thing I love the most was they made little Kool-Aid containers with Sam Altman's face on them, just saying Kool-Aid, like you drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just great.
Yeah.
I was like, these people are goobers, that's not nice. Like, I don't mean that. If you work in AI, it's your job. You're trying to survive. I get it. But like the marketing behind this it's like really like some lowest common denominator sort of stuff.
It's weird and it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, I think that's what people are feeling like. They're like, I don't want to see this all the time. And so these ads, I think the fake ads, I think got people together to kind of go, okay. And what was most interesting to me was that people who work in this industry showed up to this event. Our reporter talked to them and they were like, yeah, we get it. There was a guy who worked, I couldn't believe this, honestly, who worked at Palantir, which is, this AI company that is well known for working with the Defense Department. People are really displeased with Palantir. And he said, oh, no, I don't work for the bad part of Palantir. What I do is fine.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, oh my gosh, like what a amazing way to segment who you are, to kind of validate what you do.
Yeah.
In some way I was impressed with these sort of delusional workings of the human mind. In other ways, it kind of made me a little bit sad. I was like, this is a whole thing that's actually just like kind of clowning on your lifestyle and you showed up to sort of promote it.
It's like, why show up, man? Stay home. Watch it on Instagram.
Yeah. Like you and I are not going to the like public radio is losers convention. Like, that's not where we're going. Well, I don't work for the loser part of it. That's not how it would go.
Well, I'll turn the tote bag inside out. So, Matt, you briefly mentioned the Knicks, and I got to bring this up because that brings me to a really big announcement. We learned that the Knicks will be facing LeBron James and the 76ers in their season opener in October.
Yes.
Excited because that's banner night.
Are you excited to spend $700 billion to get a ticket?
Man, I heard how crazy these tickets are. It sounds like it's a playoff game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we also like official tickets haven't been out, but most Knicks tickets are season ticket holders. I'm sure prices will go down, but right now you can only buy them from season ticket holders who have, who are reposting them on StubHub, et cetera. And they are not cheap. But yes, the first game on the Tuesday, October 20th, banner night, ring ceremony, championship banner, the works. It's going to be like it'll be a nice revisiting of what things were like when they won the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, are people going to keep it up and can kind of keep projecting the games on the walls of the bodega or whatever else? Are people going to be outside or have they kind of forgotten about the Knicks?
They definitely haven't forgotten. And I will say at least that first game will definitely be on city streets again. At least I got my folding chair ready.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think to me, if that actually kept up, it would be really nice. You know, that was a moment of kind of pure love in the city that is rare, and it would be cool if that just, even if it's we're all coming together to hate on LeBron, sure, whatever it takes. I think it would be cool. I think World Cup had that, but it's still kind of in patches, because it wasn't, a New York team. So it would be awesome. People were just stoked and outside in the same way.
Yeah. I mean, the league really did their big one with this one, though. I mean, the Knicks are going to get their ring and then play the 76ers. That'll be their first game, too. And the first time King James, plays with this team. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited for the team.
For the 76ers or for the Knicks?
For the Knicks.
For the Knicks. I mean, just checking.
I want to say this also. As much as, I'm not rooting for LeBron in this, homie is looking at houses in New York City.
I heard that he was thinking about commuting to Philly.
Yeah.
A reverse commute, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you think LeBron is going to listen to WNYC?
No.
LeBron, if you're out there, give us a call.
Or Bronny. Now, we know you're listening,
Bronny.
Bronny.
Great. Whatever. We'll take either of you, put them right on the Brian Lehrer show.
Yeah. Also, full Nick schedule is going to come out next week. So be on the lookout for that, everyone. Matt, I know you want to get back to your vacation, but before I let you go, will you be back next week?
Yeah, you know I don't have many vacation days. Of course I'll be back next week.
I'm just making sure because I have another event I want to tell you about. We are hosting a live podcast event called In Conversation, the Affordability Crisis. And this is happening on Thursday, August 20th. The team and I are going out to Astoria, Queens. I'm inviting you and all our listeners out because we're talking about housing affordability in this crisis that most New Yorkers are feeling right now. So come on out if you're about it.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. So for more information on this event coming up and for tickets, you can visit WNYC.org/events. We'll also drop the link in our show notes.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Well, that's a wrap for this edition of the Arts and Culture Check-In with WNYC's Matthew Schnipper. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thanks, Janae.
And thank you for listening to NYC Now. I'm Janae Pierre. See you next time.